Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Free Thinkers. It's me again, Keen Show, and today I have a special guest with me, a longtime friend of mine, uh, Oloke Meji Ajet. How you doing, Ajet?
Doing all right. I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming
It's
on, bro.
yeah, it's
Abdel couldn't be with us today. He had some things to take care of with. I'm sure you guys will miss him, but we're here, we're live, and we're ready to go. So today we're going to talk about the Nigerian elections just happened in the past week. We're going to talk about different angles, who won, who lost, but think they won. We're going to talk about the Independent Electoral Commission and how they handled the elections and, different things like that. So let's just jump right into it. So INEC, Olukemeji, what are your thoughts on how INEC handled the elections, the Nigerian presidential elections, because we still have the governorship elections coming up this week?
yes. Actually, first and foremost, before we actually even talk about that, I firstly want to, say something. And I just personally, I want to be. I'm thankful for the form of democracy that we actually have in Nigeria as a country today. And the reason why I said that is because if you can remember clearly, in the 90s, obviously we're late 80s, early 90s baby. We were very young at that point, early 90s, I mean, late 80s, early 90s. If you can remember clearly, or based on what your parents probably told you or whatnot, Nigeria was in this cycle of dictatorship from one dictator to another, and then that was the time of Abacha, in the 90s, and then until 1999, where we finally, you know, uh, started practicing democracy. So I just want to kind of, set that notion that I'm appreciative personally of the democracy that we have right now, because I would not, want to be living in those days, in the 90s. So with that said, speaking of INEC,
Well,
INEC,
wait. Well, since you went there, so do you actually think what do you think about our democracy in Nigeria? Because some, I mean, we listen to Fela, like, talk about Fela's songs Fela sang 20, 30,
mhm.
and look at how democracy is practiced in Nigeria at the moment. Do you think it's like democracy? You know, what do you think? Would you say is it because we're young in our democracy, or should we expect better of ourselves? I mean, if you compare us to countries like that got independence around the same time we did, like maybe for instance Dubai or Ghana, and compare it to where we are at the moment and how we conduct politics in Nigeria. What are your thoughts on that?
Speaking of democracy, I honestly feel like, and this is just my opinion, uh, you you mentioned something about democracy, which you know uh, Fela coined, which is not necessarily democracy, but we think we're practicing democracy, but in a more, I guess, for lack of a better word, a more crazy way, so to speak. However, our democracy, I feel like, is still pretty young if you think about it,
Mm,
regardless of what we want to say, what we want to think, whether we want to compare ourselves to country that got independence at the same time that we did. You know,
mm,
my thing is that Nigeria is a complex country,
mhm,
and when you're dealing with over 250 different ethnicity in a country, to not have issues, chaos, and whatnot is is really gonna be. I mean, it's just impossible. It's almost impossible. So I feel like we've come a long way since independence in terms of democracy, and where we're currently at, although we could do better. However, I think we're on the right trajectory, in my opinion. But could we be better? Absolutely, we can be better. But I honestly think that the fact that we've been able to maintain what we have since 1999, which they consider the Fourth Republic, which we are currently in the Fourth Republic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what we currently have and the way that we have managed that democracy since then, since 1999 up to date, is somewhat commendable. However, I'm not I'm not the one to sit here and say, oh, I'm gonna give, oh yeah, Nigeria is working, Nigeria is good. No, we're not there yet. And the fact that we're making progress is all I'm concerned about and what
Mm.
I care about,
Okay,
which I
awesome,
feel like
awesome.
can. No, go ahead.
No, round. Sorry.
No, no, I just feel like which can probably lead us into this current election cycle that we just finished or that we just witnessed.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for your thoughts on that. So to go straight into the main topic, well, I mean, that's I think the thoughts you put down and going into democracy and our where we stand currently in Nigeria in relation to that, I think that that's still on topic with what we're trying to talk about today. But what are your thoughts on INEC and how they conducted elections, and what is your confidence in INEC going into another elections this Saturday to elect different governors across the country?
INEC, INEC, INEC. That's what's in the mouth of a lot
Maybe
of.
maybe we should just so let me give some definitions for those of our audience who are with the Nigerian elections. So INEC is the Independent National Electoral Commission, and they're solely charged with the responsibility of conducting elections in Nigeria, and they're supposed to be independent, which it's in the name, of course. And then I think some main highlights from this election would be the way voters are accredited, which we called Beavers, which I believe is the biometric uh, verification accreditation system. Um, and then we also have iRev. iRev was the portal on the on INEX website where votes are supposed to be uploaded from each polling units. And in Nigeria, we have about 177,000 polling units. So I think those will be some main definitions before we go into this. But sorry, Olukemiji, give me your thoughts, please.
Yeah, thanks for actually breaking those down, those call it, breaking them down so that people can understand them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I was saying, INEC is probably, I mean, if they can hear their name being called, honestly, I mean, if I had a cent for every time I've heard INEC in this past week, I'll have about $10. I'm not even kidding.
Sure, I'll probably have $10,000. No,
And it's and rightfully so because a lot of people have their reservations about what has transpired based on INEX results and of this recently conducted presidential election.
mm,
However, my opinion is that INEC, to me personally, I feel like is still a weak institution in my opinion.
mm,
They are not as sophisticated as some of these and I do I wouldn't want to make a comparison between Nigeria and the Western countries because clearly that would just be unfair. So, but just in the I guess in the capacity of Nigeria, I feel like INEC is still somewhat a weak institution, and the
mm,
reason why I say that is because okay, we've had I believe we've had INEC has been set up since the Fourth Republic, since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, which is 1999, right?
mm-hmm,
Which is to conduct election independent of the government or
Mm,
independent of any, any other entity, any other institution in the country, right?
mm.
So they're obviously, which means they're partisan. They're supposed to be partisan. However, I feel like in that sense, they're weak in the sense that,
Partisan or
a,
non-partisan?
sorry.
Partisan or non-partisan?
Oh, nonpartisan. Sorry. Yeah. So thanks for the correction there. But like I was saying, I feel like they're essentially weak because of the government. Because if I can set like a, would like to set kind of like an example of what I mean by that is we've had, like I keep saying, we've had a democratically elected president since 1999, right? We've been having, election every 4 years, every 4 years, every 4 years, conducted every 4 years. And INEC hasn't necessarily really gotten better until 2019, since 1999. So if
Mm.
you really take a look, over 20 years, INEC was essentially the same because, and it's mainly because of whatever party. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just didn't see you for a second. And in my opinion, I feel like, obviously, my opinions are also based on some of the things that I've seen, over the years and then in the in the Nigerian governance. So I feel like it's the fault of the government that have ruled us or that have been in power since the Fourth Republic, which have essentially weakened that institution called INEC. They haven't given that institution the necessary tools it needs in order to conduct election, without, with, in order to conduct election, with, let's say, you know, the best technologies out there, the best resources, essentially. So I don't necessarily feel like it's INEC's fault itself. I
Mm,
think it has a lot to do with the government.
mm.
I think it has a lot to do because obviously, if you don't equip them with the necessary resources and the necessary things that they need, you know, obviously there are going to be loopholes and rooms for, for lack of a better word, rigging. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So,
I
and that is
think we prefer the word irregularities. Let's not use the word rigging.
uh, uh, okay, sure.
I
Let's
just
let's do that. Irregularities will work.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, let's
Can
do
I,
this.
can I jump in right there? I mean, we talk about INEC and them not being a strong institution. Do we really have strong institutions in, and let me not speak for the whole of Africa. Let's just focus on Nigeria. Do we have strong institutions in Nigeria, or do we have strong men? Like, isn't that like part of our problems? Like, I was listening to I don't know, I would want to be dropping names here because I'll give people free promo. But I was listening to a popular, media personality in Nigeria, and it was giving an example of how, and I could relate to this. I was driving in Nigeria, and I stopped at a stop sign, and people were horning at me like, "What are you doing? Move out of the way!" Why are you stopping? Because it says stop. And he was giving an example of like, the average, and not to this is not to bash Nigeria, right? But this is just our realities, right? Like the average person in Nigeria is not used to following processes or
Mm,
processes, they're not used to processes. Like we're always finding a way to, subvert the rules and, a backhanded way. Um, so you look at a Nigerian, you stop at a stoplight. The average person is probably going to run that light, right? Um,
hmm
drive, disobeying traffic rules. Even with the Naira crisis, right? And you're only supposed to charge 200 Naira for at the POS, and these people are charging exorbitant amounts that are illegal, right? So then you now get
hmm
to elections and you're expecting um, INEC to conduct a free and fair election without, breaking the rules or not following their own guidelines or. it's like that's just the kind of country we have. Is where
Mm,
people just disregard.
yep.
They know the rules, but you just kind of disregard them for
Mm,
one way or the other. Other people go against the system or find ways to circumvent the system. So isn't that part? Like, were we really, really expecting a free and fair, relatively free and fair election? Because I'm even like, okay, the Western world is like our elections is completely free and fair. There's still some degree of marginalization or disenfranchisement that you see, even in the United States, for example. Um, but ours is like overt disenfranchisement of people. So
it's
where
blatant.
blatant and overt disenfranchisement of people and votes and PVC collection and stuff like that. So were we really expecting, or were we trying to live in a fantasy land, pie in the sky kind of mentality? Were we really expecting that things were going to go superbly well at this election?
Wow, that's a very interesting question because uh, talking about your experience at the stop sign and people are like looking at you, right? Kind of thing, and it made me think like, okay, what makes up these institutions? Nigerians make up these institutions, right?
Mm,
So if we cannot, just like you said, if we can't like obey simple traffic rules, right?
mm,
What makes you think that we're actually going to obey the rules that are guiding an institution that is supposed to deliver, you know, a free and fair candidate to us as a president? It's it's impossible. It's
mm,
impossible if we cannot just do those little things right in the first place.
mm-hmm,
And then we are expecting, to have free and fair election. You know, it's just almost impossible. But I guess let me pose that question back to you, right? Why do you think we have weak institutions in a sense?
well, I think. Mm, And even just from the the beginning of the country called Nigeria, from independence to all the different republics, I mean, institutions have just naturally been broken. From coups, we've gone through so many coups, and even just being able to have a military take over, that's already a failure of institution because one institution just all of a sudden said, you know what, we're just gonna take over.
Mm,
It's like y'all step aside, cancel that, and that constitution, yeah, put that on pause, cancel that, and I got about 10 executive orders, or should I call decrees? I got about 10 decrees I want you guys to follow. Yep,
mm, mm,
let's keep rolling. So I think we've had a lot of destabilization in our democracy, and
mm,
I think also we've built a society where people are bigger than institutions, where people Nigerian, once they see an opportunity. And like I said, this is not Nigerian bashing, right? Let's speak. Let's have a family meeting. Let's have a family meeting. We know other
I
people are
know
watching,
exactly. Now we
but
care. That's why we're discussing
let,
it, right?
let's bring it in. Let's bring it in, and let's not wash our dirty away outside, as people say, right? But let's bring it in. The
Hmm.
average person is looking for a way to take advantage. Um,
Mm,
in Yoruba, my uncle would say, "Atenito alokio, atenito ansale." Everybody, because once the person has some degree of power, it's like they're gonna look for a way to lord it over somebody, right?
right, right.
With the Naira crisis, for instance, POS people became gods.
What? I heard people were charging like 1,000 just to take 5,000 naira out, bro. Like
So you just became a god, right?
that's
Um,
absurd.
Fuel scarcity, gas station. You own a gas station and you're a king. It's like you own a gold mine. Um, and there's several different ways in which we just take advantage of each other. Um,
Mm,
where did we learn that behavior from? I don't know. I think the conditions in which the country is too, so much poverty. So once anyone has a little bit, it's like you're able to just flash that, and people bow down to you, or people are desperate to make day-to-day living, that they're willing to do anything to make ends meet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you could throw in so many other factors like tribe. You throw in tribalism and religion,
Sure. Don't even get me started on that.
poverty, tribalism, religion, and then lack of education, undereducation, miseducation, all kinds of education, or
So, so
educated,
basic
throwing the educated illiterates too, those who say they're educated and still don't know anything. You just have
ignorance.
speed for disaster. But let's not sidetrack too much. I think we should go back to
Mm.
the main meat of discussion. So Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is
Mm. The
off.
Jagaban.
Uh, we know city
The,
boys. We
the,
heard
the Jagaban of Lagos
those city
became the
boys.
Jagaban of Nigeria.
Anyways, is the official. It was officially announced by INEC as the winner of the presidential elections, the president-elect. Now, a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
so many different things to say about this. The other major, well, I don't like to say major political parties, but the other political parties, of course, felt like this election was, full of INEC did not live up to the promises and expectations that people had for this elections. With number one, beavers, of course, were used, but I think the main contention has been the uploading of results directly from each polling unit
Mm-hmm.
um, to the INEC website. There also, there was, of course, Nigerian elections. You must have a little bit of violence. Ballot box must be snatched. Of course, INEC officials. How can they show up late? How can I go and vote and the INEC official has shown up late? Hearing stories of INEC not showing up to 2 p.m.
And that's why we set the precedent before we even get into this point that
Huh?
those institutions are not as strong as we want them to be.
But that's what I'm saying. But is it just INEC though? Is it I think some things we put so much on INEC. I'm not absolving INEC. INEC because INEC over promise and they should have known these problems. Whatever problems, the Nigerian factor, they should have accounted for. INEC not showing the situation, or do you know? I heard a situation of no, watched a situation. Let me even say here. This is the way hearsay. I watched a video where they went to
Mm-hmm.
go pick up the INEC officials. The people gathered together. Someone went to go and pick up the INEC official, and they showed up maybe after 2 o'clock. By the time they got there, so it's like is it the INEC officials were just not planning to go out that day, or did they not have transportation?
Can you
Or
just
they
imagine?
somewhere. I think all those things too, those things really disturb me because I like that's just disenfranchising people in another way. It's like why should I wait in 7 hours for you to show up before I could vote? And then people staying to like 3 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning counting votes. It's like there's
Wow.
just so much madness. Like, you go in saner climes. Voting doesn't take you more than 10 minutes. Yeah,
Dude,
people are spending I think some people say that polling units were over 24 hours, if not 48 hours.
can you imagine? Can you
They
just imagine?
take officials hostage. At some point, I thought it was even becoming like a kidnapping situation. People were kidnapping or hostage situation, I would say, where they're holding INEC officials hostage because they won't upload the beavers. They're like, you cannot leave. I'm like, How can you tell me I can't leave?
What if Beavers was not working? Because that happened in a lot of polling stations where Beavers was actually not working.
Yeah, so I think Adele, uh, who is calling me at the moment, and probably just needs to join. But let me see if I can get Abdel on for a second. But I'm listening to you. Give me some of your thoughts on that.
Okay. I think obviously we set the precedent of the 90s or whatever, blah blah blah. And I actually feel like if we don't know where we're coming from, we're not gonna know where we're going. And again, I'm gonna go back to 1999, right? with this whole situation with INEC and everything that we have with this election, Beaver's not working, IREV not working, people claiming that INEC has not delivered exactly what they promised the country in terms of free and fair election. Um, and then you have an established party, PDP, coming out, also claiming the INEC did not do what they promised the country when, obviously we talked about, the institution being weak, right? When they were there for 16 years, when they could have put in place a stronger institution whereby, you know, there is no way you would hold an election, hello? Whereby when you hold
Uh,
oh,
Go ahead. Abdel just joined. But go ahead.
um, yeah, like I was saying, right? One of the established parties, PDP, they've been there for 16 years. They were in the position to make sure that INEC does the right thing. You know what I'm saying? For that period. And then now they're coming out now and saying that, oh, INEC, under delivered. They didn't do this, they didn't do that, they didn't which it's perfectly clear INEC did not do a lot of the things that they promised, right? And we understand that.
Well, okay. Let's. I hear your point, but APC has been power for 8 years. We have to stop. We have to get to a point where we just stop blaming PDP. Let's see. People say PDP is gone. They
Um,
get.
I'm actually getting there. I'm actually getting there because when the APC government came into power, that was when they now introduced the use of beavers and the use of IRAF. It never used to be like that.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not forget that part.
I hear all that, but we can't leave PDP as already. My thoughts on it would be like PDP. I don't know what kind of opposition party they want to be, but
I honestly, at this point, I don't even
I
think they're
hear
relevant.
the word of the street is that they're over at this point. And Labour Party is a new opposition party.
You mean the
Um,
opportunist, the opportunist party?
I tried to get Peter Obi supporters to come on today. They didn't want to come on.
Hey, they're scared. That's it's as simple as that. I feel like they're scared. Like if you truly have confidence and believe in
Politics,
your candidate
politics,
and their ideology, I don't see the reason why you shouldn't.
one at a time. Politics overall is a game of opportunity. So
Look at you.
we can put it like that. Everybody's looking for their own opportunity. Ikotan in my Jelonwa, everybody's looking for their
But
own
you have to
opportunity.
be strategic in that in the way you take that opportunity.
That one, opportunity cost.
So you do SWOT analysis, but when it comes to opportunity, how you
Yeah, Abdel, thanks for joining us. Sorry, I see you're still trying to probably get settled in. Abdel,
Yeah, apologize. I apologize.
no, 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 you're good, bro. Just whenever you're
I
ready, just let
joined, I
us
joined
know.
late.
No problem.
But
Um,
I heard his last comments, and I think him and I were on the same page on most of the on some of the stuff he said. So I'll let you ask him more questions.
absolutely.
Abdel, you're always looking for the person to be on the same page with. Continue.
No, you
Enter,
don't start.
you hear
You don't start again.
you hear 1 minute out of 28 minutes. You
I
don't
just
know
said. I just said the last part. His last comment.
in the same. Just say you're the same sentence.
Let
You're
the
not.
man
No, well,
answer ask
you
his
don't start
question
again.
now.
You're
Let
on
the
the
man
same.
I
ask his
don't got
question
time for
now.
you, Jerry. I don't got
Oloke,
time.
Oloke Meji, what did you say?
No, he said he wanted to ask a question, right?
No, no, no. I said I will let him ask you more questions if he had any. But I sincerely
Oh,
apologize for
oh, okay.
joining.
Oh no, no worries.
Well, so okay, Tinubu has been declared
Hmm.
the winner. Labour Party said they are going to court. PDP
Hmm.
said they are going to court. PDP, they always go to court. They went to court last time too, so
Mm.
that was
Well,
not new.
at least that's the right way to go. That's the right way to go. Calling revolution now is not the best way to fix these things, especially when you only have 14,000 votes, less than last time.
It's revolution now is what we're seeing here. We more best man she buy. And
I was just saying.
Shots fired. Shots
Aaron,
fired.
Aaron. But anyways,
No, you don't want to accept.
let me,
The truth you don't want to accept.
can I finish say what I was saying before you threw in a shorter job? Even if I
Wait a minute.
If I
Wait a
talk
minute.
about gender, we'll be talking about gender roles. Abdul will throw in show red job. We'll be talking you should be like, where did this come from? Everything just you just throw in show for anyway. We can be talking about the price of food. You just throw in show red.
Where are you
Ah,
getting all this from
c'est
again? Eh?
me. C'est-
You don't start to lie now, eh? You are better than this.
How can you go from 30,000 in 2019 to 14,000?
When Labour Party okay, what
And still claim that election is fraud.
P-
And still
wait,
claim
now,
and still claim election is fraud.
Can you just imagine?
wait.
Even if they give that man all the votes in that, he no go win.
Do you want to have a conversation on your point on the
Anyways, let me.
how many votes did APC get last election?
APC actually got more than they got this time around.
Lies. APC, Buhari won with 15 million votes in the last election.
Yeah, but they got only
How
8
many did
million
they
this
get?
time now.
Didn't I get like six
Wait,
or
let me
seven
finish
million?
first. Buhari won with 15 million votes in the last election, APC, right?
Hmm.
This time, Tinubu only had 8 million. That's half. The votes cut in half. PDP had 12 million. This time they
Okay.
had 6 point something million. That's day to day cut in
But
half.
there's a reason for that,
Wait
though.
now, I'm telling you, there's a reason that Showore votes also went from 30,000 to 14. Everybody's votes got cut in half from this election.
Is that how you want to?
Across the board.
See, that
That's facts.
if
That's
that's
how
the
you want to
route
do
that
it.
you want to
That's
go,
facts. That's
That's how you
facts.
want to do it.
That's facts.
that's
No,
all,
that's how you want to do it. Really, Jai.
Is it? Am I lying?
Really, Jai.
bro.
Labor
Ask your question. Let's leave
Party
that
is
part.
taking everybody's votes. Labor Party took votes from PDP. They took votes from APC. They took votes from Show.
Mm.
Even though you only had 30,000, they still took Labor Party tax. Everybody has paid the Labor Party tax this election season. So
Hmm.
But the Labour Party did actually very well, though.
they did extremely well, I would say. I didn't think. I mean, I was expecting Peter Obi to get a minimum of 1 million votes, but the 6 million is a very, very good showing. I think he's definitely shaking up the country. I think his supporters they're active. They're not just online. They have their PVCs. They said they didn't have structure. They've
Hmm.
shown them that they are the structure. I mean, even pulling up a win in Lagos against the Ashiwaju
I
Jagabat.
have a question about look at me. Are you from Lagos?
I actually lived in Lagos, but I'm not from Lagos. I'm originally from Osho State.
Okay, okay. But you've been living in Lagos for a while.
Yes, yes.
What do you think? What do you think of that win, for instance?
Of that which,
The Labour Party's win in Lagos.
honestly, I feel like I actually liked it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, because the reason why is because it's actually going to change a lot of things when it comes to Nigerian politics. Because a lot of Nigerian politicians are too complacent in the sense that they feel like, oh, they can easily just win without even doing the groundwork, without and then after winning, you know whatever it is that they're supposed to do for the people, they tend not to do it. However, with the emergence of Labour Party and Peter Obi and the obedience movement, because that's what I believe it is. It's a movement. It's actually not a political party. And I feel like moving forward, if they keep that momentum, like I've been telling a lot of people, if they keep the momentum, you know, and the next election cycle comes along, they're actually going to do more damage than they did this time around.
I actually agree with
However,
you.
that is you know we we'll see what happened though. We'll see what happened. However, do I think they should go to court? Hey, everybody's got their opinion. I honestly feel like they should just relax at this point.
No, I think they
And
should go to court.
oh, you think they need to go to court?
Yeah,
Why
I
is
think they
that?
should go to court. So there were some irregularities during this election. No one
Hmm.
can deny that. Like You had places where uh, ballots were not places were open on time. You have places
Mm-hmm.
where people were damaging stuff or throwing the votes. You have the
Okay.
fact that there is low turnout in general. You have
Low
the fact
turnout
that
has
there are
nothing to do with that, though. No, low
wait, wait,
turnout has
wait,
nothing
wait,
to do.
wait, 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 wait. Let me finish. Uh,
Okay.
what the fact that people didn't receive the PVC or couldn't find get the PVC on time before the election. What do you don't think those are linked to the fact that there's a low turnout? I mean,
Oh,
you don't think there is not? You don't think they are linked?
I actually think that INEC, when it comes to distribution of PVC, they actually extended the time to collect your PVC. Because I believe it was supposed to end sometimes in February or no, sorry, sometimes last year, but they
Mhm.
extended it further so that people can actually acquire their PVC and be able to vote. So when it comes to some people getting their PVC and some people not being able to get their PVC, I don't know a lot about that, but I saw a headline somewhere that INEC was actually extending the time period whereby people can actually acquire their PVC.
What I'll say about the PVCs, to me, let me say everything I can about PVCs in less than 2 minutes or so. Number one, I don't even know why we use PVCs in Nigeria. I feel like,
Because we
that's
don't have a national ID. Like everybody is not in the system.
there's national ID now. They have national
But how
ID
many
too.
people have national ID, bro?
And but I think that should be the focus, that they should focus on people getting a national ID versus having them get another piece of card just in order to vote every 4 years. I feel like it's with it's a poor utilization of resources when you could just have an ID that people could use to vote or identify themselves as well. Because we don't have them. We complain about debt. We complain about not having enough revenue. But we spend so much money on these PVC, on these plastic cards, right? I feel like somebody's just benefiting off of a contract to produce these cards. By the end of the these cards can't be mailed to people's houses because number one, like we talked about, failure of institutions. We don't have a good mailing system, so people have to go queue in line to pick up a piece of card, and then they say it's not here, it's there. You have to transfer it to the new state where you are. When you transfer it, then you still can't find it, and then you're hearing stories about it being found in gutters or INEC offices being burnt down or um, PVC is being found in the bush by hunters. You know, I think
Yeah,
I think it's just a wasteful exercise. It's almost as difficult to collect a PVC, just as it's difficult to get a Nigerian passport at embassies and even within the country. It's like we're wasting money. I feel like we have number one. Okay, now we have BVN, they have NIM, and now PVC. You know,
I have my reservations about
just get
those,
one
but
number. We need a better way of, and people say this all the time. We need a better database. But I think the national ID, people should just have a national ID, and that ID should be able to be used to vote. Because if you have an ID, you should be over 18, so you should be eligible to vote, and you should just be able to show up at the polling unit with that ID.
we
And
have a comment about the ID, but let me finish what I was saying earlier. So, because of those irregularities, I think I strongly believe that APC or even Sugar Party should take the should I mean not APC, PDP, and Labour Party should go to court so that, this can be fixed at
yeah,
least for the next election.
yeah, but like
I do you know Nigeria at all? No, no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no, no, no. It's a valid question. It's a valid
No,
question because
that's a very good question. That's a very good question, and I get it all.
because
I get that question
I
all the
feel
time.
like I feel like when it comes to the judiciary system in Nigeria, like in my own opinion, the ruling party always wins regardless of what the situation is. That's just in my opinion, based on the track record of the things that I've seen. That's what I'm
so
basing my
that's
analogy on.
we have Festus Keyamo. I watched Festus Keyamo the other day. He told me
But there is
he said
Ogun. There was, I believe there was something. There was a Ogun State. There was an election that was contested in Ogun State, and I think the not. I don't remember it very well. I think I was reading it somewhere, and the person who won when he went to court
said
was not.
I don't think it's always the ruling party. I think other parties
Yeah,
gotten I think, like, going back to our conversation about institutions, the judicial system is another institution that, and right now they already have a backlog of election matters, and now
Hmm.
they're going to add more election matters,
The Osho
and
State one is still there.
these things have to be resolved within a certain time frame. So it's also going to put so much stress on the system, a system that's already overwhelmed. There's so many people that are just sitting in prisons waiting for their trials or cases to be heard, and now we have to be hearing election. Frankly, don't like the situations of. I feel like INEC as a electoral body should be able to handle these cases. They're charged with the responsibility of conducting free and fair elections. They should be able
Mhm.
to tell us a winner point blank straight. It shouldn't have to go to
But,
six.
but
Wait. It shouldn't have to go to six judges to determine whether or not someone won or someone did not win. Because
but we know.
But
Wait. Let me add something to that
it's
right quick.
it shows that INEC is um um grossly incompetent because
mm,
they're carrying out an exercise, and at the end of the day, they're the referee of a football match. At the end of the football match, we can't tell who won. We have to go to court.
No, there is something. No, there is something you remember. You're forgetting here.
there's always a winner
First
and
of
a
all,
loser
it doesn't matter
in
which
that field.
country it is. If it's not a country who has been independent for years and years and years and has so much experience with these things, people still contest election. I don't think we did it. I don't think even if everything was
Oh,
perfect,
well, so I get you.
even everything
I'm not saying that people can contest elections, but
they will always
I'm not saying people
even
can
if everything was perfect.
I'm not saying people can contest elections, but what I'm saying is with the situation INEC leaves you with, it puts so much doubt onto the credibility
You just had somebody saying
of
more about or like you just had heard him say INEC did the best. They went above they did the best within the institutional confound and the restriction they have in a country like Nigeria.
look, other on our
Uh,
story, other on
Ah
So so
no,
now, right?
sit
We've
down.
all agreed that INEC has messed up, obviously, right? They didn't deliver as promised to Nigerians.
It's
However, I don't
expected.
as as
Honest.
expected. Okay. Um, when I know they said that Beavers and IREV were going to be used this coming election on Saturday, the gubernatorial and what else? I think there's also going to be some other elections this coming Saturday outside of the governorship elections. Then we're actually going to see whether the system works or not. Because based on what they told us on the presidential election, it's like, oh yeah, Beavers was this,
See,
Beavers was that,
bro,
IREV was.
but that's part of the problem though. Is like in some cases, IREV supposedly worked and Bivas everything worked seamlessly for the senatorial and House of Rep elections. But when it came specifically presidential elections, there was a lot of complaint that they were saying is the presidential elections that they did not know, could not upload, and that was the more critical election, the more critical piece.
Well,
the thing is that
so,
that's
so
what I was asking you before though. How many poll stations did they have? Did they have this situation in all poll stations?
mm,
I think for the most part, mostly and all news channels and mostly everything I've seen online, everyone says that they were not able to upload those presidential elections.
however, Beavers did work though, and a
Yeah,
lot of those polling stations.
Bivas
See,
worked, which is fine.
that's the part I'm saying. Like, if we don't have the numbers, it will be. We can't make those assumptions. We can't make an educated guess when we don't have those numbers.
I'll tell you
Yes,
what. I'll tell you what. I was watching channels the other day, and they brought one of INEX people or whatever shall, and the person was talking about like in order for this election to be overturned in court, there has to be irregularities in over I believe over 60% of the polling units. However, what INEC is alluding to now is that I don't know if you saw this headline. The BAT or whatever. I forgot exactly what the acronym stands for. Right? They gave INEC 70 to 80% pass for this recently conducted election.
I
So
think that's the
they're
Nigerian
saying,
Bar Association. I saw something like that.
yeah, Nigerian Bar Association, yeah.
It goes
So
to tell.
so within INEC electoral law, it says that if irregularity is minimized to like less than 30%, then the election is credible. So I feel like OB and all these people are just wasting their time. In my opinion, I just feel like they're wasting their time going to court. But it's going to be a field day for the lawyers and all the attorneys and stuff.
So it's
I mean,
sad. All the senior
some people have to
artists.
make money.
I mean, I'm a strong. So I am an OB supporter. Like I really want OB. I
Trust
really
me, I
wanted
can
OB
tell.
to win. I'm sorry. You shaking your head. You don't remember?
Trust
No,
me, I can tell.
he said
You
he
can
can
you
tell. He can
you
smell it.
can tell
Uh,
obedience when you see one. You can tell obedience when you see one.
no,
They're
no, no.
easily
But
recognizable. They're easily recognizable.
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm not
He-
necessarily on the board that the election was stolen. I think it's normal for a country like Nigeria to have irregularities because we're still working on trying
Why
to
is
get
it
things
normal?
together.
Why should it be? Why is bad things?
Remember, let me give you. Let me. But hold
Why
up, hold
is
up. It's not
why
like
is
whenever we talk
negative?
about this. Wait
Wait.
now. Wait. You
Why
just you asked me a question. Let me
wait,
answer.
Let the man talk
wait.
now.
Wait.
Which kind of
Why
host you be?
why is negativity normal? Why should negativity be normal to us?
No, nobody said
Baba,
nobody no
do
negativity is
you
normal. Why you
understand
acting
the?
like this? I'm telling you,
I thought you said
25
the
years ago,
president.
25 years ago, you still have a dictator.
Thank you. Isn't that what we talked
25
about
years
before we
ago.
even started talking about anything at
There was
all?
tap running water in
Wait
my
now. Let me finish.
there
25
was
years ago, you cannot just run around and say what was the name of that dude who was there? Sef? I can't remember his name. For goodness sake.
Abacha.
Abacha. You can't run around and say, "Oh, Abacha is this and be saying bullshit." You will be dead.
Do you know how many people died under his this thing?
Wait,
You,
what
that's 25 years ago. That's like yesterday.
Kilans,
And you are just out here, just like you cannot recognize that at least we are moving forward.
Exactly. Now we have freedom of speech. Talk less of freedom of expression, or like something
freedom of
that didn't
speech.
exist in the 90s.
Imagine when oh
Ex,
my god,
ex,
oh
ex,
my god,
expression ori buruku
my
oleni.
So
god,
you
Expression,
think you
my
so
expression ori buruku
you think
oleni.
how people are joining Twitter spaces, just like they are free to join Twitter spaces and express themselves and do whatever. You think they will actually be able to do that back then if we even had that technology back then
Freedom of
in
speech.
a country
They
like
will die
Nigeria?
in jail. They will
APC.
election. Who cared about election then?
King,
Will
what
Let's
you
no
talk.
be
sort of
able to
why?
wait
Let's
now? Will you be able to say, oh, when the president won 30 or 40 in 1993 or 1994, when actually they did election that everybody say, oh, it's the best election. Let me finish now. They didn't put the dude in jail. They just like I
wait.
don't get it.
Wait. You say you have freedom of speech.
The guy died
When
in jail.
it's your Buhari APC boy, city boy, and now yeah, they talk to now. No, be
Okay.
him banned Twitter like just less than 2 years ago. Yeah.
You know what?
Oh.
You know what? I'm not gonna get into the whatever with the ban of Twitter, but I think I know what happened, but that's not why we are here. So let's not go into that.
And now you guys know why we are here. Now you want to go.
Shebi, we
No,
are
no, no,
talking about the
no. Like
president
King,
elect and the fact that
you're making a bad faith argument right now.
I'm making a bad
You're
words.
making a bad faith argument right now. Like that Twitter ban has nothing to do with election. And people were still able to.
zero.
There's literally hold
No,
up,
wait
wait
now.
now.
No,
They
wait.
still had.
But wait, what's in me? Only I'm making bad arguments. You guys brought up
But
freedom
let
of
me. But
speech.
I'm
You said
telling
there's
you
freedom
now.
of speech now. You said there's freedom of speech.
Wait
I
now.
give you
Let me
specific.
finish. You banned Twitter. Hold on. You banned Twitter. Okay. But people, there were still journal in your country saying whatever they want to say. People were still going on YouTube saying whatever they want to say.
Thank
Wait,
you,
which
thank
one?
you. And wait.
That's
You
literally.
is
I don't get it.
is that even what you want to talk about? Let me tell you something. Now, do you Joe Biden is considering banning TikTok? Yes or no? Is he not?
It's
Trump
not.
considered
It's not
banning it.
America. It's not
Trump
an
wanted
America.
to ban it.
So
Everybody.
TikTok is eventually going to be banned in the US. So
When
let's not even go there.
when there's balloons flying over you guys in your country, there's balloons coming across the Atlantic Ocean and
They are
Pacific.
blowing things out of proportion. Let's again, that's not why we're here. Let's talk about City Boy,
I know him.
Asiwaju,
So, you shall
Bola, Ahmed,
like our king.
Tinubu. The
Hey, man,
Jagaban,
these kind of things.
former Jagaban of Lagos, now the Jagaban of Nigeria. Okay?
Okay.
That's the reason why we are here.
You really wanted
My
Tinubu,
guy is the
but
president
honestly, though,
elect.
honestly, let me ask you a question. So,
No,
Tinubu, do
I
you really
spoke.
think Tinubu is the right thing Nigeria need right now?
There's the reason why he named his campaign Renewed Hope. There's a reason why he named it Renewed Hope. Because this guy has been tested over the years. When it comes to fighting for democracy, it was in the forefront of fighting for democracy.
Me and you are in the same pose.
Ah, don't worry. I will take you guys to school. He was at the
I'm listening.
forefront of
Teach me
fighting for
something.
democracy. When Abiola's this thing, when his mandate was stolen in 1993, who was there for him? It was this guy, Ashwaju. Ashwaju is
Shure was there too in 1993. But
so how come Shore is not relevant today?
eh,
Don't
Answer that.
leave that one alone. Leave that one alone, Jai.
Eh?
No, the way
If no, wait, let's talk about it. Shore and Ashiwaju were there together. So
continue.
why did Ashiwaju be, ascend to the presidency position while Shore is still there trying to fight and go to court
I
Show
know
is
and blow the money he
the
doesn't
Twitter
have
warrior. Let's
and
move
blow
on.
the money he doesn't have?
the one that
Again,
the one that Boliovan has. Is it his own? Let's not go there. Continue.
whatever. Again, Ashiwaju is a strategist. Yes, that's another one
But all
because
that, but how's that? All those things you're talking about is his personal quality to succeed. My point is, how does that benefit Nigeria?
how does that benefit Nigeria? Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what you know about Lagos, but Ashiwaju was the governor of Lagos State for 8 years, from
Okay.
1999 to 2007. And
Mm-hmm.
I can categorically tell you because earlier you asked me, "Am I from Lagos?" And I told you that no,
Yeah.
initially I'm actually from Osun State, and I actually moved to Lagos in year 2000. What? No, was it? No, 1990. I think it was 1999 or 2000, sharp thereabouts. So I saw what Lagos was when I moved to Lagos. Lagos was no different from Osun State back then. You know what I'm saying? And that
Mm-hmm.
was when Ashwaji just became the governor. Yes, King, you can make that face. Yes, Lagos was no different from Osun State, based on just just everything like basic amenities. The roads were awful. Like,
Yeah, I remember the American embassy was in Osun State as well. I remember they had one there as well.
come out here, Joe. Come out here, Joe.
I
Okay,
remember
Don't listen
but
to him. Don't listen. Please don't listen
anyways,
to him. Ignore him,
roads.
please.
there was a Unilever, there was a Uni
My brother,
borders.
please
Are you going to
ignore.
let me
Please
speak?
ignore him.
Are you going to let me speak?
And oh yeah,
Please,
and the international airports. Yeah, the Osun
King,
State
can you let
International
him
Airport. I
speak?
used to land
King,
there.
Oh my
can
I
God.
you
used
let
to land. I used to land in Osun State when I flew from the US. Uh,
him speak? Can you let him speak?
Are you done?
My brother, let me hear you.
Anyways, like I was saying before, I was really interrupted. Um, Ashiwaju. So I experienced like a lot that was bad in Lagos, flooding everywhere. And back then we lived in Ijushaga. This was outskirts of Lagos, like close to Ogun State. So it wasn't like they didn't even pay attention to those areas, so to speak. However, like I only spent about 4 years. I only lived about 4 years in Lagos before I relocated to the United States. And within those 4 years, I saw a lot of difference. I saw a lot of changes, even around the area that was on the outskirts, like what you would consider outskirts of Lagos. Because anything that's close to Ogun State, where this guy is from, is usually considered outskirts of Lagos. And I saw like the progress of like because back then like there used to be this one particular school on my way to there used to be this one public school whereby every time it rained, like you would think it's like a pond because water would just be filled up in their entire compound. Like, and this was a public school, and within 2 years, like they renovated the school, like they put the sandfill everything, like they just changed it around. And this was in what year 2002. So and then since then I started seeing changes of different things happening on that axis in that area, right? So I mean I wasn't necessarily like there for a long time, but I saw the growth over the years up until this moment.
What do you
And that
think?
was what Ashiwaju put in place
All
as a
right.
governor.
Okay. Abdel, any comments?
So what do you think? So all those are like infrastructure, and I think him, if you want to credit him with him developing some part of Lagos, I think that's a valid point. Nigeria has been it has gone very far from the time from 2000 to like 2022 2023, right? When it
Oh,
comes to infrastructure,
absolutely.
when it comes
Absolutely.
to infrastructure, what issue
No,
has
I
been
was just
really
telling you what I experienced while I was there. That was all I was saying.
correct? 'Cause I
City,
want to know
City boy, calm down, calm down. Let him answer the question now.
Kasuala.
job now. Job is the major issue. What do
Hmm.
you think this dude can do for the jobs? For people to be able to get
You
jobs.
have respect. Is Jagabaya calling dude?
Oh, sorry, Mabin. Chief
Ashiwaju,
Tinubu. Asiwaju.
Ashiwaju,
Mabin.
the
Asiwaju.
president elect.
Asiwaju. His campaign slogan is Temilokan. It's not the one you said earlier. But anyway.
Okay, to answer your question, I think when it comes to Ashiwaju, his plans are out there for everybody to see. He's letting us know that instead of bringing in food from outside, we can actually grow our own food
Are you
in
referring to
Nigeria.
Agba?
Yes, that's right, Agbado. Because there's a lot you can do with all these things, like growing our own food, making sure that when foreign investment comes, we give them tax incentives, so that giving them those tax incentives, they're going to create more jobs. And then our young people graduating from colleges, graduating from universities, graduating from polytechnic are going to be able to have jobs when they come out, instead of sitting around, waiting for this. Waiting. It's not government that creates jobs. We know that, but government create the environment that gives private sectors, ability to create jobs. Government don't create jobs, and that's one thing a lot of Nigerians need to understand, that you need somebody who has been exposed, who has the know-how. And Ashiwaju does have the know-how. He's worked in private sectors. He's worked in audit firms. He's worked at ExxonMobil. He was at the top at these companies where he worked. So I feel like with
I'm
that
confused.
experience,
I didn't think when we're trying to look for his experience, you say he worked in private sectors.
yeah, he did. Yes.
Uh, King, am
What are you
I?
confused about?
Didn't we look into this in the during the election? Did we find anything?
No, yeah, Ashiwaju did work in the private sector.
He said he works for. He said he worked for Exxon. He said he worked for Deloitte. I mean,
As an accountant,
Yeah.
yes.
at what level? Oh, but okay, fine. Sorry, but anyway, yes. Okay, sorry, I'm listening.
You know,
But if you look at those same things you just mentioned, for example, Peter Obi has done it though. But Peter Obi has done it even creating job himself, not just working for some people.
How did Peter Obi create job? Where did Peter Obi create jobs?
Hold on one second.
you know what?
Obedience.
So
Please
he
know your
actually
facts.
had a
Please know
company.
your facts. Please know your facts before you just
No,
throw
hold on,
anything
hold on,
out
hold on,
there.
hold on, hold on, hold on. First of all, if you look,
Obi that actually he made Anambra move back 8 years
hey,
after he
no,
left Anambra.
don't say that. Do not say that. That is not true.
What are we
Ju-
talking about here?
Hold on. That is not true.
Ẹjọ nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹjọ hold on po. We are 58. We are 58 minutes. This guy said Obi moved Anambra back 8 years. I
That
told
is
you
so not true.
I need to look for Obi supporter that.
Let the obedience prove me wrong now. Let
Obi
them
keep
prove me
What are you
wrong.
talking about?
Abdel
How
is
many
a
companies did Obi create in Anambra? Let's talk about these things, because
wait,
Ashiwaju, when he was the governor of Lagos, had a blueprint for Lagos to become a
edge
mega city in the next 20 years. And that is exactly what they are
Okay,
following
okay.
at this time.
Let me give you this. Let
Lagos
me
is
give you
having a
this.
blue line. Lagos is having a red line. Lagos have so many things. The last time I went to Lagos, I couldn't believe that was Lagos. And that was this, actually, the first time I went to Lagos was in
hold up,
2012. And
hold
since
up,
then, I went back
hold
last year and I saw
up, hold
what's up.
up. Okay.
Oh, so Obi was the Obi was the chairman and director of Express Motor Mortgage Bank Limited. He also similar position for Guardian Express Bank.
Okay.
He also was I thought he also had, I thought he also had his private company himself. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I can't find
Okay.
his private company. He also was the
You mean the beer company?
he also was the youngest chairman at Fidelity Bank. But no, actually I thought he has his own private company. But I can't find it right now.
Obi is an import exporter now.
Yeah, but I don't see it. I don't, for some reason I couldn't find it online.
But obedience will not tell you that. So the all Obi did was bring things into the country, destroy Cadbury. King, do you know Cadbury? The chocolate
But
company that makes
I cannot co-sign
Bonvita
to anything. I cannot co-sign to anything you're saying. I know
No,
and
Card.
I
Ovaltine.
can't find anything. But no. Well, they
No,
both
I'm
have
just
similar
telling you guys
positions. They
facts
both have
about
similar
this guy
positions.
now. Obedience don't even know the fact about their own guy. They just support him blindly, and that's exactly what this obedient
No.
movement is. People
I'll give you one
support
thing. I'll give you
blindly.
one thing.
They don't know what they are supporting
Wait,
because the guy came
wait,
disguised
wait,
as a saint.
wait,
Saint
wait,
Obi,
No,
wait.
like he
I'll give you
doesn't.
one thing. I don't know all the different
Look at
work
it.
all the different things he worked for. Where?
Abdel, Ejuro. Okay, we're at 1 hour.
Okay, enough.
We have to cut this video because this is getting way too long. And
No,
City,
we need to revisit this sometime. Like I will give Abdul some time to go and do his research about his
Get my back
candidates.
together.
Yes,
No worries. But here's the thing.
but
What
but
I personally
but
like
one
about
thing is
this.
you cannot be supporting your candidate blindly. You have to know
no,
facts about your
No.
candidates.
I am not
no.
supporting him blindly. Hold up. So
Abdel
some of
is
the
a
some,
Abdel is a supporter of Peter B, but I would say he's not a top supporter. He's not. He's
It
not a
doesn't matter whether you are top,
no.
whether you are
top
bottom. It
supporter.
doesn't matter.
And my friend
No,
here,
actually, I really enjoy when I looked at Peter Obi, when I listened to his campaign, what he want to do for Nigeria. I think he has some great ideas. How he wanted to save, produce jobs,
Oh,
save
really?
the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the things. So, for example, when he was talking about he was going to borrow more money, but he doesn't see
Okay.
money borrowing money as an issue. That he was going to make sure that when he borrowed the money, he invested in areas that actually bring more jobs, not just subsidies.
Such as what?
Or
Such as what? Do you have an example?
he didn't specify on that one.
Exactly my point. Because if you're borrowing money,
But hold
the
on.
essence of
Your
borrowing money
brother
is
did
to
not
build up
say.
your
Ashwaji
infrastructure.
did not either. Ashwaji did not
No,
either.
Ashwaju did no. See, let me tell you what Ashwaju's plan is, right? So if you look at the current administration in Nigeria now, Buhari, he's currently borrowed money. However, all those borrowed money have gone into developing the infrastructure, right? Because if you develop the infrastructure, then people are going to be able to move back and forth to different places and be able to, trade. Guess what is going to happen as a result? The economy is going to benefit from that. So Asiwaju plans to continue that. Even if he borrows money, he plans to continue building infrastructure where this current administration will leave off, so that we can continue to
But
benefit from that.
that's
and
the issue, though. That's one of the
all
issues.
right,
That's one of the
sorry,
issues.
gentlemen, we have to
That's
cut
one of the
this.
issues.
Have
So
to
you
cut
think the current administration is actually is actually borrowing money and
Adele,
using the money they borrow properly?
Adele. This,
Uh,
Like continue the
that's
same thing.
that's that's up for debate. That's up for debate because personally, I don't. I mean, I'm
Come
not a
on
big fan
now.
of this current administration. No, but I'm telling you, I'm, I'm, I'm telling you, no,
You can't say
no,
your candidate is going to continue the same policy and not be able to defend what we're currently doing.
well, the
One of the
aspect that I know is what I'm telling you. Like the part that I know is what I'm telling you. I don't know everything about this administration currently. However,
no.
I don't. I'm not gonna pretend like, oh yeah, it's all dilly dally. Like I don't love everything about this current administration. However, I'll tell you what, the
But we're
fact that
about to
they're
continue the same policies.
okay,
I don't get it.
uh,
I don't get it.
in terms
But
of
no,
infrastructure,
no.
yes, they will continue the
We're
same
about to
policy.
continue the same policy. No. But anyway, you do have a point. I don't remember all the different past achievement of Peter Obi, but I really enjoy some of his plan for the future. for the
Okay.
country. So that's why I actually support him. Also, he is young. We don't need another. All
65
my
years old
respect.
is young.
I would like to come. Huh?
65 years old.
I mean, 5 years old younger than Tinubu. If Tinubu says
This guy, come on, man.
5 years, no be joke. Oh.
We still have to. We still have to do
Not true,
carbon.
sharp for Yoruba land.
We still have to. We
5
have
years
to
no
do,
be joke.
we have to do carbon dating on some of these candidates
Hey, you don't say that now. You don't say that now. Some of
to know
these
their true
numbers.
age.
Some of these numbers. But no, Tinubu, I respect Tinubu. Shiwaju, my respect if you watch this video. I have no other with you. I
Uh,
would just
uh,
say.
this way we'll set
It-
our future position.
it-
So
no, 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 no. See, him as an obedience, I like that because you're supposed to position yourself in order to,
you like
help the country Nigeria
so
grow, right?
you
See,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 no. He's making sense right now. He said he likes Asiwaju and he supports Asiwaju moving forward, right? Isn't that what you said?
I mean, he is the president now. What
Thank
you
you. Instead of
what
wasting
you
your time and fighting, go and prepare for the next 4 years and challenge him again. That's what I would tell all the obedience and obey himself. Go and prepare.
Let me
Continue this momentum.
let me make final
wait, wait,
submissions.
wait, wait. Hold on. I have a question. Man. What will you tell? What will you tell Shui?
Coco Basile. So let us suffer.
If you remember, let me make my final comments on some of the things because you guys, Kuku Jack and Soro, you guys didn't let me really speak. Um, like I agree. I mean, if I think Peter B and them should PDP if they want to go to court, I think they should if they feel like they have enough evidence to support any case that they may bring. I think that alone would be healthy for our democracy and healthy for INEC to improve upon their processes. Because even if it's not something that's enough to overturn the election, at least things can be brought to light, and hopefully INEC can learn how they could further improve, or people who need to be criminally charged for any kind of electoral malpractice could be, judgment could come their way. Um, Yes, if Tinubu is a president-elect, if he eventually is sworn in as president and is upheld by the any win that may be brought against him or his party or candidacy or his not at this point but his victory, uh, yeah, he's every Nigerian, and I hope that he would serve all Nigerians and whatever plans he has would be for the betterment of all Nigerians. So I'm looking forward to the next 4 years to see how things go and if he can actually deliver. And hopefully they won't come back and start telling us as I say, cock and bull story about and start trying to blame PDP again because PDP is 8 years removed now. I hope Tinubu wants to be blaming PDP for things that happens on this administration. So I hopefully he takes full responsibility for all the debt and everything he's inheriting, and takes full responsibility that come his way as well. Um, but this video I think has been long enough. I think it was a healthy dialogue. I'm gonna definitely work hard to get a Peter Obi supporter to come on. I had one in mind,
No,
but
a stronger Peter B supporter.
stronger Peter Obi supporter. I am.
No, he was supposed to join, but he got
Look at
scared
me.
and just.
Abdel, he's a honorary Nigerian. He's from Benin Republic.
Oh, so you have to
Oh,
point
you
that
know my
out.
brother now.
I have to
You
make
Ah,
it.
have, you have to point it out. But hold on.
I have to
Again, I'm Yoruba. Yoruba is literally from Nigeria. Like you can't make that
I
up.
didn't say, did I say, I didn't say you're not
No,
from
but
Nigeria.
it's not that. And actually, and I keep
so he
saying
No,
this.
wants to be Nigerian as well. Actually, practically
No, I don't.
Nigerian,
No, no,
sir.
no, no, no. Hold up. I'm not necessarily running to be Nigerian. No, but the
I
thing
have to,
is, I can't deny the Nigerian part of me.
Abdel,
Like like literally, I don't understand why people cannot see how Benin Republic and Nigeria are so connected. And if
I
you
didn't say,
remove,
oh,
wait, let me finish.
Ishima,
Maybe you guys have Alaketu of Ketu in Benin Republic.
Yes, but
Ah, that's right.
and not
I
just
thought
that,
about.
we have Yoruba who are literally just people who walk from Oyo to
We
the part of Benin
are,
Republic. And until now, everything that affect Nigeria affect Benin Republic. If
oh,
Really?
Nigeria if Nigeria is sneezing, Benin has pneumonia. Like
Wow.
is Nigerian politics
I did not say
is very very important for the
Abdel.
people of Benin Republic. And I mean,
Abdel.
for
Oh,
people not to see it, I mean, it's sad.
Hold
It's sad.
on, now.
you mean
Hold on.
West Africa in general?
Hold
Yes, but
so
definitely because not
long.
Benin is a very small country
Right.
who have a huge
I've muted both of you. You can keep talking. I've muted you because you're not listening as I'm talking. You're not listening. I had to mute you. Eh, Abdel, I brought up the fact that your main homeland is across the border. Not to say you're not Nigerian, not to say you're not Yoruba. You're my brother now. We speak the same language. But I said that because tonight you did not represent the obedient appropriately. And obedience come back and watch this video, they're going to be mad. So I need to bring on a proper obedient that can speak to the mandates of their principal appropriately and go head to head with city boys like the one here with us tonight. So that's mainly what I was trying to say. So not to diminish you, but unlike you, however, that I like to bring up a Shore at ton. Yeah.
you know what? From now on, I'm setting up the league. I'm gonna be the host. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. But no,
Ah.
I got you though.
Anyways, well, thank you everyone for joining the Free Thinkers tonight. Long, but I hope you enjoy the content. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more content that comes our way and for more interesting discussions on just general topics. But we do love to focus on politics and Nigerian focused topics. But we were up for talk about any other topic that might come our way. So if there are any
And
topics that
also
interest you,
American politics. We talk about American politics as well.
oh yeah, we do talk about American politics. We're just taking a hiatus right now. We gotta wait
Kane,
for that.
check your. I just sent you something. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think I saw some messages come through. I think you mentioned talking about religion and stuff in Nigeria.
I
Ah,
mean, I don't know what if this space is kind of if you
Oh
guys
we
no, no,
can, we can, we can talk about religion, but it depends on what you mean by talking about religion.
for
No, no, no,
no,
no. I just want to talk about, how I want you guys to consider talking about maybe why is it that we as Nigerians or Africans in general are always looking up to our pastors to give us his prophecies and then they give us prophecies and then we're disappointed.
Okay,
now you
that I want to talk about it. That
now
I
you
want to do.
now you they look up for prophecy. I'm
No,
a
no, no.
prophet. I'm a
No,
prophet.
I'm saying people in Nigeria generally. I don't do that.
Two
I
free
agree with you. I agree with you, and we can
go,
share videos.
go and watch two free thinker videos ago. Who did I prophesy is going to win the election?
City boy. Yeah.
I called it. I called it.
I mean, it was obvious though. But anyways,
It wasn't obvious. I didn't think.
It's
Well, I don't
obvious.
know.
At least I'm correct.
But anyways, yes, I think that's a valid thing. I think I agree with that. I think we should do it.
All
yeah,
right. Well,
definitely.
gentlemen, sorry, I don't want this video to get too much longer. We could stay on and talk after the live ends, but thank you, everyone. Join us next time on Free Thinkers.
Have a lovely one, everybody.